Huh. Hello, my black and white brothers. Welcome to my channel. I am Alpha Anime, and this is What If Deku Had Nine's Abilities Part 3. I just want to sincerely apologize for yesterday. I made the mistake of scheduling something because my internet is just bad. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think I'll just, instead of doing the premieres like Anime Outlet, I'll just make it normal. I'll just upload it and then see it. And also, if you hear my dogs outside, they're going AWOL for some reason. They go AWOL for absolutely no reason sometimes. I don't know what to do. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Okay, so we left off with Deku walking to UA. When he gets to UA, he walked through the halls nervously looking for the Class 1A for Class 1A. When he sees it, the door, he's like, why is the door so big? he mumbles to himself, and he proceeds to walk inside. He walks in, and then he proceeds to see a blue-haired boy, yelling at Bakugo because he's doing something bad or something by putting his feet on a desk like a normal human being, I would say. When he walks in, Bakugo says, "Oh, hey, Izuku, how are you?" Izuku says, "Fine." Then the blue-haired boy walks up to Izuku and says, "Oh, you must be the green-haired boy that took on the 0-pointer. You must have seen the secret part of the exam. You are better academically than me, most likely." Deku wanted to just say, "Well, that's not really true. I just wanted to help people." But before he said that, a girl behind them, a brown-haired girl behind them, says, "Oh, you're the guy who saved me, the plain-looking one, the one with multiple quirks or something." Then when people hear that, they're like, "Wait, multiple quirks? What do you mean?" And since Todoroki's here as well, he's like, "Huh? What do you mean, multiple quirks?" But before he can explain, some kind of freaking some yellow caterpillar walks in. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" But then Deku, or yeah, let's call it Deku for simplicity's sake. Deku scans him and says, "Quirk name Erasure." Then it's like, "Wait, that sounds so." It's like, "Oh, Eraserhead." Everyone is like, "Wait, what?" Mr. Aizawa. And when everyone hears that, it's like, "What? Our teacher is a caterpillar?" Then the caterpillar stands up and unzips, and it's like, "I am not a caterpillar." And plus, it took you guys 8 seconds to shut up. You need to work on that. It's not gonna work if y'all are here just to make friends. If you are, you better get the hell out. If I'm doing Mr. Aizawa's voice, because Mr. Aizawa's the coolest person ever. He's so chill. Everyone, everyone just sighs and like, what the heck? Then Aizawa proceeds to say, "All right, you guys go put on your PE uniforms and head down to testing ground A." Everyone listens and starts proceeding to go downstairs. When they're downstairs, Mr. Aizawa throws Izuku a ball and says, "You got first on the entrance exam. Chuck that ball as far as you can using your quirk." How far? He then asks Izuku what his farthest ball throw was before. Deku replies saying, "Oh, my farthest throw without my quirk was 60 meters." Mr. Aizawa says, "Impressive. Now throw with your quirk." Izuku nods and proceeds to make an air wall with his hand. He puts the ball on it. He points it sideways. Then he when he then uses a super shot to blast it out of his hand, sending it really far. Everyone looks in awe, but then Deku wasn't done. He got out his hydras and started to play soccer with it, basically, and just knock it around. So yeah, like I said, he was basically just playing soccer with his hydras and the ball. Everyone is looking in awe, but then right after that, he uses his air bullets to start shooting at it while the hydras are still playing soccer, sending it much farther. Then he's like, well, I better just throw it as far as I can one more time. Then he uses his telekinesis, stops the ball in the midair, and then uses his telekinesis and just bro, he might as well just throw it out of the king atmosphere. What it shows is that, it's in space. No, it's not in space. It would have burned up by then with the speed it's going at. It goes like, it says it went over 5,000 miles. So everyone is like, well, this is not fun. I mean, people are like, oh, this is gonna be so fun. Bakugan wants to be like, hey, Izuku, why were you holding back? And then everyone looks at Bakugan like, wait, hold up. What do you mean, holding back? That boy just threw it over like 4 borders. Like, that thing must have landed in Canada or something. Aizawa looks at Deku and is angry at him and says, what does he mean holding back? Deku is afraid and like, well, I didn't want to overuse myself and save some energy. Mr. Aizawa says, alright, I'm going to give the ball to you one more time. If you hold back again, you're expelled. Everyone looks at him and is like, and then they're like, oh no. Deku says, fine, I'll use my full strength. He then proceeds to get his hydras out first this time, and then he does something that no one thought he could do when he was combining it. He made it so the bullet lasers come out of the hydras. So he puts the ball in the hydra's mouth, then the hydras chuck it, and when the hydras chuck it, he uses telekinesis to move it farther, then uses the hydras to shoot the bullet lasers, and it goes much farther after using the air cannon with the air shield or whatever it's called, sending it 10,000 miles. Everyone looks and is like, that guy was only using half. Everyone is like, oh, yeah, and then everyone is so excited. It's like, oh, this is going to be so fun. When Mr. Aizawa hears it's like fun, oh, we can't have that. We didn't come to school to have fun. He then says, well, if it's so fun, how about we up the ante? Whoever gets last place is expelled on the spot. Everyone is very afraid, and then some people are like, hey, that's unfair. We all worked out to get here. It's like, well, I don't want... Then Aizawa says, well, I don't want anyone without potential to be at my school. So it's rather you try your hardest and go plus ultra or you're expelled. So you better start getting ready. So the important ones in the speed test, using his air cannon as basically a hoverboard, he gets on it and then he air blasts himself to victory. And then he gets 2.5 seconds, which is, I think that's faster than Ida. He gets 3.5 seconds. Yeah. Then grip test, he breaks it. He breaks the grip test machine when he was by using the Hydra and just crushing it. So yeah, he gets first place because I don't really care enough to not give him first place. The person who was in last place is Toru, because unlike Mineta, she doesn't have any enhancements. All she is invisible. Then Mr. Aizawa says, just kidding, you're not getting expelled. Just wanted you to go plus ultra. Everyone sighs, is like, well, at least no one's getting expelled. Then Momo is like, what, y'all didn't call it already? It's kind of easy, not gonna lie. Yeah, so he gets first place, and then all that stuff happens, and now a few days pass. Then now it's time for heroes versus villains. But first, All Might walks into the door saying, "I'm walking to the door like a normal person." And Deku starts geeking out and is like, "Wait, people don't say I'm walking to the door like a normal person. If you're a normal person." Everyone is in awe about how All Might is standing there. Then after that, um, it's time for heroes versus villains. Now his suit is basically the same, but then he has a few spots on his suit where, on his back, instead of it being completely leather, he has a few slots for where his hydras can come out, and then his fingers, instead of it being full hand gloves, the tips of the gloves are not there, so he can use his bullet lasers. Unless the bullet lasers don't come from the fingers, they form outside of the fingers. Well, either way, it doesn't really matter. So the teams are this time not Bakugo and Ida, it's Todoroki and Bakugo versus Deku and Uraraka. Okay, so yeah, after that, yeah. So Deku and Uraraka enter the building after it was announced that Todoroki and Bakugo and Deku and Uraraka are gonna be against each other. So Deku and Uraraka enter the building after All Might gives the go-ahead. Deku then says, "Okay, Bakugo is gonna come for me immediately. So just as soon as that happens, execute the plan." Deku agrees. Uraraka agrees. By the way, I'm sorry if you hear that. My dog is going AWOL, and I have to record this somewhere else since they're doing something in my room. Yeah. So Deku and Uraraka enter the building. Then, when they were about to get to the stairs, or Deku, damn it, Bakugo bursts through a wall, saying, "Look, I'm bursting through the wall like a normal person." I like references. Deku starts to laugh and is like, "Really, really, Bakugo? That joke was so lowbrow." Deku is like, "Your face is lowbrow." That's what Bakugo says. Deku and Uraraka sigh and is like, "Well, that was the worst comeback of ever." Deku then says, "All right, Uraraka, execute the plan." Uraraka nods and starts to go up the stairs. Bakugo tries to stop her, but then Deku stops him with his telekinesis. Says, your business is with me." Bakugo smiles and starts to blast towards Deku, getting through his telekinesis easily. When Deku sees this, he creates an air wall that stops Bakugo, but then Bakugo shoots an explosion right next to the air wall, surprising Deku and sending him flying into a wall. When that happens, Bakugo thinks that, "Oh, I must have knocked him out." Then Deku says, "Not yet, bro." He then proceeds to send a Hydra at Bakugo. And then while that's happening, Bakugo is dodging, but then he doesn't notice Deku charging up his finger bullet lasers and starts to blast Bakugo with it. And Bakugo is finding it really hard to dodge his Hydras and his bullet lasers at the same time. Deku then says, "Well, I might as well just knock you out as quickly as possible so I can go help Uraraka." Bakugo says, Well, I would like to do the same." Bakugo then proceeds to show Deku how his gauntlets are ready and tells him about it. Deku says, oh ho ho, so you're not as dumb as I expected." Then Bakugo smiles and says, "Well, this is gonna hurt a lot, so you better prepare yourself." All Might tries to stop it, but Bakugo and All Might say, "Oh no, he can take it." All Might is like, "Okay, let me see where this goes." Deku makes two air walls, but then Bakugo shoots both of his gauntlets, breaking through both of the air walls and blasting Deku. It doesn't send him flying this time, but then it really wounds him, and then Bakugo is like, "This should take him out of commission." But then But then, without him noticing, Deku had started using cell activation to charge up his what's it called? So make himself faster and to heal his wounds at the same time. So Deku blitzes Bakugo and uses an air wall in front of him to ram into Bakugo, and then Bakugo says, "Whoa, creative!" After being knocked back, but then Deku says, "I'm not done yet." Then he blasts Bakugo with the air wall blast, and then Bakugo is about to be knocked out. But then before that happens, Deku runs over and smashes him into the ground using his telekinesis, knocking him Bakugo out. Then Deku ties him up and then proceeds to go up the stairs to Uraraka. By the time he gets there, he had seen that Todoroki had basically frozen Uraraka in place. Deku is like, oh, crap. He then proceeds to use scan on Todoroki to see that he has half cold, half hot as a quirk. Deku then screams, "Hey Todoroki, why aren't you using your hot side?" Todoroki is surprised, like, "How do you know?" Like, "Oh, one of my quirks is that I can check people's quirks and power levels of their quirks." Todoroki is quiet after that and says, "I'm not gonna use that old man's quirk." Deku hears this and says, "Huh, so it must have some kind of emotional value or something. No matter, I'll just take him out so I can touch the bomb and and cut Uraraka out of the whatever it is." Deku proceeds to use his telekinesis to ram Todoroki into a wall, but then Todoroki freezes the wall and proceeds to freeze the room, but Deku jumps up and puts an air wall under him, which takes his focus off Todoroki, so he isn't using his telekinesis on him anymore. Then he proceeds to what's his name again? Todoroki sends an ice wall at Deku. Deku dodges, jumps onto the ice, and says, "Well, I don't have that much time, so I better take him out quickly." He uses his finger lasers as like a whip, and then hits Todoroki into a wall with his finger lasers. Doesn't knock him out, but then Deku says, "I need to take him out as quickly as possible." He then uses one of his hydras to hang onto the wall, and then he throws his other one at Todoroki, effectively knocking him out, winning them the hero versus villains. Deku goes over to Uraraka, uses his finger threads and his bullet lasers, and melts Uraraka out of the ice. Uraraka says, "Oh, thanks, but I just wish I could do more." Deku says, "Oh, you did as much as you could. Thanks." They walk out. Since they won. Okay. By the way, I forgot. Put what ship you want in the description if you want like a harem or something. Right now I'm focusing on Deku x Uraraka, but if you want like a harem or something, just leave it in the comment section. So yeah. So that's where I'm gonna end the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. So yeah, stay safe, stay cool, and wear a mask. Goodbye.